Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Tell the World Nation Zoom training call. My name is Ruth Sherlock, and we're going to get this call kicked off with some announcements. Thank you so much for joining us, to all of you who have made it a priority to be on this call for your business. It's absolutely essential. We go over trainings, we do inspiration, we do announcements. This is our hub for our team. This is where we get together from all around the world to be in one room, right? And so thank you so much for getting on. Thank you for being on here with your teams and really showing up. That is the key to success in this business, is showing up and getting into activity. So we're going to talk about getting into activity and all of that today. So thank you for showing up. So a little bit of what's going on right now. So first, we have a car party in Irvine today. So if you have not registered for that yet, get your tickets and head on up there with a guest. There were 2 last weekend, and they're just absolutely amazing. These are such vision builders for us as consultants, but also for guests. So super, super great opportunity for you to go grab a guest or 2 or 3 or 4 and take them up to Irvine to that car presentation. It's going to be an amazing time. We also, you probably saw, we have the new products that were launched yesterday, live, or 2 days ago, yesterday, I don't know what day it is, but we launched new products and they're amazing. So those are going to be coming out September 1st. If you did not see that, go to the ICC Facebook page to see what's coming. I love that they gave us a little bit of a heads up before they're actually launched, because that helps us as consultants prepare and think of who we want to share these with, who are we going to have host for us, right? All of those different things. Having new products is a great opportunity. One, it grows our brand. Of course, it grows what we have to offer, but it really allows us to reach our market over and over and over, and reach our clients and let them know that Arbonne is doing something new. We have new products. We also launched the holiday line, or we announced the holiday line. It's going to be launched on the 1st as well. So just all these great opportunities to grow your business and grow your clients with their more and more products for your clients. So just keeping that going. So we'll talk more about that, of course, as we get closer to the products actually being here, but make sure that you know what's coming. It's very, very exciting, very fun incentive to have people host for you too. Of course, we want to continue to book out August because we want to grow this time. The 4th quarter is always our biggest quarter, and that happens because we prepare in the summer, right? So the 4th quarter doesn't end up being huge just because it's really what we do now. Now, that's why we want to keep sponsoring, keep utilizing that $49 for a consultant to sponsor, $20 for a preferred client to upgrade. Don't miss out on that. It is such an amazing opportunity that Arbonne is giving us to grow our teams now, so that we have an even bigger team as we jump into the 4th quarter and beyond. People are back to school, they're back in your routine. So this is a great, great time to reach back out to those clients who have maybe been on vacation or just in vacation mindset, right? Okay, this is the 18th, so we're over halfway through the month, so be sure to be tracking along with your goals, see where you're at. If you need to reroute or reevaluate, talk to your coach. They'll get you there. They'll help you make a plan, I should say. We don't get you there, but we help you make a plan to get there. And then, of course, we have Impact coming up in September, so be sure that you've registered for that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, talk to your sponsor. We also have all the amazing incentives that are just rounding out for summer. So District Dreamin' with Corporate, we have the Donna Johnson incentive with Tell the World Nations, the Kendra Scott. So go to our telltheworldnations.com website and you will see all of those when you log in. But with that, I want to make sure that our amazing guest has enough time to speak with us this morning. France is fabulous. If you have not met her yet or have heard her speak, you are in for a treat today. She is an area manager. She's from Encinitas. She actually joins us at our Encinitas meeting. Prior to Arbonne, she was a professional ballet dancer, so she'll probably tell us a little bit more about that. So, well, I have a special connection with her as a dancer, and I'm just so thrilled. She has a beautiful family. She's got a sweet little boy and a wonderful husband, and they live here in Encinitas. So she's traveled and done her ballet dancing around the world, which is great. So anyways, France, I would love for you to jump on and just share your heart with us and take it away. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be asked to share with your beautiful team. And I just look up to everyone on this team, and you guys have inspired me. I love that we get to meet in Encinitas at that monthly meeting. And just, I don't know, I think side by side teams are just so inspiring. And it's almost like being on this call is like a little sneak peek into another world. I'm like, oh my gosh, I get to see what your team is talking about and doing, which is actually nothing different from what we do, surprisingly. But so I wanted to just speak a little bit, I guess, just about what drives me. And I like to make it really, really simple. You can get a lot of training through Arbonne. I mean, every week we have new topics and different ideas floating around. And there's always, I mean, I have 10 notebooks since I started, this much notes from different trainings. And I guess just to share with you guys this morning, just two basic, simple things that drive my business forward. And whenever I'm in a slump or need a little bit of inspiration, I go back to these two things. But before I get into that, I'll tell you a little bit more about me and my story. And Ruth said it. I had a very interesting background as a ballet dancer. I grew up in Encinitas, California, so a surfer town. I always felt a little bit out of place because I loved classics and I loved ballet, and I was in the studio, and I felt a little out of place just being in a surfer town. So I kind of grew up with that, and not a lot of community growing up. I stuck with my ballet dance friends, and I think I had one really close friend graduating from high school. So I've never been a really outgoing, bubbly person that just naturally has a bunch of friends. So when so basically, moving on, I danced in Richmond, Virginia. I danced on the East Coast in Princeton, New Jersey, and I started teaching ballet. And I absolutely, hands down, loved teaching ballet because my favorite thing was getting to mentor these girls and helping them just achieve a higher level in themselves and letting them encouraging them. I grew up in a very old school way of training where I was yelled at constantly. And so one of my missions in the world is to help young girls just use the power of dance and turn it around into more of a positive thing. So I did that for a while, and everything was wonderful. In the studio, I was probably teaching 30 classes a week, and Ruth knows that's like really actually like a death sentence because that's way too many hours to be in the studio. And then I got married and I got pregnant, of course. And I was like, how am I? I'm just going to keep going. I'll just have this baby in my tummy. And then once he's born, I'll put him in that baby Bjorn thing or that front pack. And I'll just keep. Yes, it is. I'm reading from Christy. I can't believe she's in Ireland. I'm so excited. So I was like, I'm just going to push forward and I'm just going to keep teaching because that's my only skill. I didn't go to college. I don't have like a degree waiting for me in the background, and I'm just going to keep going. And so I had my baby, and he's in the front pack, and I'm teaching, and I went back to work right away, maybe a month after I had him, and I was, you guys, I was exhausted, and my life came to a really huge halt when all of a sudden I'm in the studio one day, and I was going into this step, and my left Achilles tendon totally ruptured. It had been hurting, but just as I'd done my whole life, I'd been ignoring the pain. And that was sort of a huge breaking point. And you guys, this was just in 2016. So not that long ago, a couple years ago. And I was hung up on my mom's couch. My baby was about 2 months old, and I couldn't physically walk and carry my son for about 6 months because of having a cast and a boot and surgery and all of that. So my life really came to a point where I had to reevaluate what I was going to do, and not having very many options. I was just really praying about what I could do. And a lot of that time was just teaching me how to surrender. surrender and be present with my baby, and just know that I don't have control over every aspect of my life. And I'm so great. Looking back, it was one of the hardest things I've been through, but looking back, it was one of the most pivotal moments of my life. And that's when a friend of mine, Audrey Welch, who I've known for about 8 years, she is a regional vice president, locally in San Diego. She reached out to me and she was like, let's just meet up for a little healthy juice. And my son was about, I don't know, 8 months old. And we just really had a heart-to-heart talk. And her husband had torn his Achilles tendon, and that's when she presented the Arbonne opportunity to me. And it took a couple of months for me to really like commit, but in December of 2016, I decided to go for it. And I wrapped my mind, my heart, and my soul around this business, and I just put one foot in front of the other. A little bit of blind faith, a little bit of just fire from my soul, and a big part of that was the Arbonne's Healthy 30 Days to Healthy Living, and how it completely changed my life. It got rid of all of the inflammation in my body, and I was walking without pain for literally about the first time in my life. So I had a huge testimonial to share with people, and I'm so proud that the products have helped my family get a lot healthier, and I just couldn't be more, I couldn't live a day without the products. So that's a little bit about my backstory. And here I am today on this call getting to share with you. So the two things I want to talk about, and I'll be pretty quick because I like to just sum it up. I kind of like to make big ideas a little more simple so that we can swallow them a little bit easier. But the two ideas are built upon relationship. And the first thing I want to talk about is, number one, I think your business stems from this, is your relationship with yourself. So that ties a lot with mindset. So if you notice on social media right now, technology has been amazing. It's allowed us to have an information highway. You can go on Google and figure out anything. It's really putting a lot of power back to the people. For example, if you want to try a product, you can read the reviews, you can research the different ingredients. If you need a surgery, you can go online and basically watch the surgery that you need to have. You want a second opinion, you can research doctors from around the world. So technology is very, very, very powerful. And I think it's reached this certain point where we have all of the information, and it's sort of like, well, what's next? And what you'll notice is there's a trend definitely on Instagram of people talking about uplifting their own mindset, right? So there's a quote, I think every day I get thousands of different quotes on how we can really improve the way we're thinking in order to improve the quality of our life. So, sorry, I'm in a public place. People are walking in and out, but so if there's a little bit of noise. But so I like to think that the new technology is really applying the technology that we have through the internet and all this information, and how we're relating it back to ourselves. How are we upping our mental game? And I truly believe that our mind is our greatest tool. So the only difference between me and someone like Christy, right, who's amazing and has done her business for a really long time, is what's going on in her mind, right? All of us are no different. Our makeup is no different than someone who's, succeeding really well, and someone who might be struggling. So I think we need to hone in on internally on where we're at in our business, and just really build the belief around what you think is possible, because that's the only thing stopping you. I like to think about when I'm stuck, or I'm having a moment, or I'm having an experience that might not be 100% pleasant. I like to think about, what are the thoughts driving this idea right now? What are the thoughts behind it? Are they stemming either from love or from fear, right? And I think that'll really help getting through any bumps that along this journey. And it's really, really simple to do. You can just sit down and just reevaluate, take a step back from your external self, and just go internal. So I like to also talk about what about your belief, right? On a scale of 1 to 5, and we say this in our Arbonne opportunity, on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest, where do you see yourself in your belief, right? So I want to ask you guys about that, and just write down a number, maybe, and that's okay. Whatever that number is, it's okay, because there are ways that we can up our belief in ourselves, because that's all we really have control over. I mean, we can believe in our team to the max, but really the only thing we can do is really build our own belief. I really believe in leading through inspiration rather than education, right? So inspiring others to do things rather than telling them what to do. So where is your belief on a scale of 1 to 5? And you can write down that number. And if it is below a 4 or below, I have 3 things for you that you might need to be doing. So one is listening. I love to listen to podcasts. I love to listen to audiobooks, and I love to listen to other people's journeys. I love SoundCloud. I love all the Ion Arbonne stuff. I love all of it. So listen just throughout your day in your car. Whenever I've promoted, I've literally been aiming to brainwash myself into the belief, right? So I'm breathing, reading, seeing, feeding myself belief 100% of the time, because I honestly don't believe I could do this on my own. So to continue to feed yourself, reading, right? We have a million books that we could all recommend towards one another. Maybe everyone could write down their favorite book in the comments. That's a really fun thing to do. What book is really fueling your business right now? And then the last thing, listen, read, and I love this one, reset, right? So I been on this journey for about 1.5 years now. Our visions might be changing, right? We are changing, we're growing, we're not really always the same. So taking some time to, I think that's why it's always good to reset your vision, taking some time to sit down and take some time to think about what you really want again, right? It might be different from 6 months ago. You might be in a different place. I mean, I was doing some vision work through Richard Blissbrook, his book Mach Mach 2. If you haven't read that book, it's amazing. I was going through the book and reading it and doing the vision work. And this was a few months ago when I wrote this whole beautiful vision about how I want to live in this house on the beach, in this white chair, being spiritual and all this stuff, right? And then I went back to my life, because that sounds great, right? Everyone kind of wants that idea, overlooking the ocean. And I'm living my life, and then I'm thinking about, well, you know what? I'm going to reset that, because that's great, and maybe I'll have that, and that'll be part of it. But you know what? Maybe I want like a smaller home. Maybe I want to travel, right? Maybe I want to give back. So it's always good to check back in with yourself, because we're constantly evolving and changing. So that was a little bit just about how to tune in with yourself, your relationship with who you are. And then the number 2 thing is just your relationship with others, right? It's all about knowing yourself. And number 2 is how you're relating with others. Whenever I'm stuck in the business, I go back to people. I tell all of my team this too. I'm like, think about how we can serve the people on that 100-person list. This is not about getting people to do something. This is about how can we help someone who's in need of our service. So in your normal day-to-day life, I like to talk about how you're showing up, right? How do you look? How are you presenting yourself? What is your energy like? Because when you're putting out a vibe, that vibe's totally going to come back. And I believe it. And it's proven itself over and over to me. And also, you want to think about what energy you're putting out on social media, because that's a huge part of our business now. And I'll just touch on that briefly, because that's like a whole nother world. I personally just love to share about how I use the products in a day-to-day life. So like if I'm going to my workout and I'm have my fizz, then I share, this helps me get through my workout or whatever. So I try not to use a lot of stock images. And I personally try not to tell too much about the opportunity on social media, because I'd rather do that in person with someone. That for me is some information that I personally would love to sit down and share with people. it gives, I don't know, it just a little bit more respect to what we do personally. So other people do other things and it's amazing. I mean, there's some social media experts out there that are doing fabulous stuff. So um, so showing up on social media authentically and showing up in your life. I used to be, remember I told you guys I didn't have very many friends. When I was growing up, I was just like this little ballet nerd, and I was like in my hooded sweatshirt at high school, and I didn't really have a lot of skills to connect with people. And what I've learned in this last year and a half, and I love the other day, Facebook reminded me of this because it popped up and it said, this year, it was a few months ago, because this year you've made over 100 friends, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And then another month later, it was like, I'm your twin. I wish I was your twin, Ruth. You're doing amazing. You're so inspiring. Okay, so then the Facebook notification popped up again, and it was like, you've made 65 more friends in the last 2 months. So it really is a skill, you guys. And I want you to take a moment to acknowledge that connecting with people does take energy, and it is a skill to learn. So please be patient with yourself and be kind to yourself going through this process of learning how to authentically connect. And when I'm connecting with someone, I really keep what we do, our bond, kind of in the back. I definitely want to, and I'm going to take you through 3 steps again, like I did the first time. There's 3 things, and I think they're really key when speaking with other people. And number 1 is listen. Be curious about them. This is another Richard Blissbrook thing. Like, really be truly curious about someone's life. You will be amazed. Like, you can barely tell them anything about who you are, and they'll become your best friend. It's awesome. So really listen. And then when I'm listening, I'm looking for what I call soft spots. Where are spots in their life that possibly we can come in and help them? Where can we inspire them to grow? Maybe they need a life reset. Maybe they, like I needed. I mean, I needed a new way of making money. Um, and then number 2, I think this is really something that I had to learn throughout the process of growing, is ask permission to share, right? So when I first started, I would listen. I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, Arbonne is so amazing, and you need to do Arbonne because it helped me with this." And then I just was almost throwing up the information on them. And I think we've all done that because we got really, really, really psyched up about it. But when we're listening, find the soft spots and then ask permission, you guys. It can be super casual. Hey, can I just share with you what I do? That's it. I'd love to just tell you a tiny bit more about what I do. Um, and make it important, right? Not just information that we just blah, 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 throw up on people all the time. Like, just say, I don't know if it could help you or not, but can I share with you this product? Can I get you a sample? And with their permission, then there's opening up that relationship. And then at that point, we're able to go in, educate through conversation, ask more questions, and educate. I always say, guys, respect everyone's viewpoint. I have 2 more little points, and then we can open up for questions. But respect their viewpoint. If they are like, I do not want to hear about Arbonne one more time in my whole life, to say, I completely respect you, because it's our relationship is not based on Arbonne. Arbonne's just there if we can, to help them, right? And we love them if they can join our team even more. But they're still humans, and if we're going to make an impact across the board, if we're going to prove people wrong about their image about network marketers, then we are going to love them anyway, because that's what we do. And then they'll be attracted to that energy regardless. My last thing I want to share with you guys is I make this agreement when someone joins my team with them. And I think it really kind of eases the pressure, and it really opens them up, because when you're a new consultant, you have no idea what you're getting into, really, right? It's like baby steps, and all of a sudden it can become like this boulder coming down at you. You're like, okay, there's this business, I'm gaining momentum. And you could get in a little bit of overwhelm. So my agreement to my new consultants is, number 1, and I say this when they are done with their registration, I go and I look at them and I say, number 1, I care about our relationship more than I care about this business. Number 2, I'll never advise you to do something that is not for your own good, for the greater good of you or your family. And number 3, I'll do the best possible job I can at leading you to success. So with that, I just want to, I think I said everything I wanted to say. I know it's so simple, guys, relationship with yourself, relationship with others. But that's really what we do. And the more we can keep going back and forth between upping our game with ourselves and then going back to people and how can we love them more, I think the better that your business will grow and succeed, and it's all a win. So thank you so much.
France, thank you so much. That was beautiful. And I love this simplicity. I think everyone appreciates it. And as they're putting up in the comments, you know, that it really is that simple. Sometimes we can make such a mess of it in our minds and kind of give ourselves that out of, oh, it's just complicated. It's not complicated. And I love how you broke that down, and making it about people, because when we start to assume that we know what people need, that's offensive. You know, when people are telling you what to do or what they think you should do, that's offensive, you know. And so thank you so much for those beautiful reminders. Does anyone have questions? If you do, unmute yourself and ask away. We've got a couple minutes here.
Hi, this is Karen. I missed what your third item was. You say it's not about the business, and then what were those 3 things again, pretty please?
I care about our relationship. Can you hear me? I care about our relationship more than Arbonne. So I care about people more, right? People are my priority. Number 2, I'll never advise them to do something that's not in the greater good for themselves or their family. So for example, if someone can afford to do $1,000 starter order, I'm not going to make them do it, you guys. I'm not going to make them do it at all. I'm going to set them on a path towards using the products that are appropriate for what they can do. Number 3, I'll do the best job I can at leading them through this business. So just being the best leader I can possibly be for them. And I'm still learning about how to be a great leader. So I think we always are. If you ever think you're got it going on, then let me know.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Was there another one that we had who wanted to hop on? Sounded like we had 2. Nope.
I do. I'll ask. Hi, France.
Hi, Sarah.
How are you?
Good. I'm about to go to Monster Jam, you guys.
What's that?
It's like the monster truck show up in LA. We're going to leave right after the call. I'm going to take my son.
I thought you said Momster Jam. I was like,
oh, you should do that too.
Right? Seriously. Oh my gosh, so fun. Well, I have a quick question for you that I'm curious about, because I know a lot of my team, a lot of our team in general, are still working, and they have clients and they have, you know, their management that they have to look up to. And I'm just curious, how do you balance sharing with your clients that are work clients that are non-Arbonnes? Like, how do you balance between that to where you're not stepping on toes, or, you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
So balancing just my life, like how do I connect with people, and balancing my work life, or?
Yeah, like bringing Arbonne into your work life in a way that you're sharing it with that network, but you're not disrespecting your place at the same time, right?
So I teach a lot of bar, right? You guys, I teach bar. I work at a studio in Oceanside, and I teach ballet, and I do a lot of things. And to be honest, I gift them. Okay, so I don't honestly go up to them and just start rambling on. Okay, I don't do it. I used to do it. What has happened now, this is this thing. If you're consistent, this is going to totally work. So I have my clients, the clients who are on the product, that's who I talk to. I go over to the people who are on the product, right? And when we all have these, right? And we're like, oh my gosh, how was your fizz? Isn't fizz amazing? Did you try the new blackberry? Da, 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 da. The girl next to them comes over like this. And then she is like, what are you guys doing? I'm like, oh my gosh, have you had a fizz stick yet? It's almost, I don't go up to people and like, oh, you know, I try to be very, I'm inviting, but I try not to overstep my boundary because I also have a huge respect for the businesses where I work, right? I don't want to be like, oh, there's the Arbonne girl stepping on all our clients. And if you do it really authentically, where you're just really connecting with people, like in my calendar, I have blocked off 3 times during my week where I can meet with people. And I'll usually meet someone at bar, connect with them, and then I'll say, do you want to grab a bite to eat or an appetizer or a glass of wine after bar on Friday night where I teach? You know what I mean? So there's this kind of progression. And then from there, I get to know them, see if Arbonne can be a fit. And before you know it, the community starts all using Arbonne, and then it creates this buzz. And then other people want in too, or they want to know about it. And they'll actually just come up to me and ask questions. And the best follow-up I have, you guys, is on social media. People start to follow me. And then from social media, that's my platform where I'll educate, right? So it's not that I'm directly picking people. I also go with the intention of having a sample pack in my purse. And if someone is interested, I have that intention with the sample pack in my bag of giving it away that day, right? So I'm like, okay, I just say, okay, universe, I want to give this away to someone who needs it. And then that's in my purse, and that's a point of attraction right there in my purse, right? So I try not to pick on people like, oh, I see your skin needs help. You know, there's a right way to say everything, but I really let the attraction and inspiration factor come to me rather than me always going, hey, because it's just saved my reputation, to be honest. I have so many people complimenting me. Thank you for, you know, I really admire the way you're working this business, because a lot of network marketers have ruined the image for people, you guys, and it sucks. So we have to defy those odds and just keep marching forward.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the perfect answer. I'm like writing it down. That's beautiful. And well, thank you, France, so much again. And it's so clear even how you shared with us today, how you lead from the heart, and that's your goal, and people feel that. So
thank you. It was such an honor to be here, you guys. I hope you got a little bit of wisdom through that.
Yes, absolutely. So have so much fun at Monster Jam today. Thank you for taking time to be with us. Everyone who's been on this call this morning, thank you for taking time to pour into yourself so that you can pour into others. So have an amazing Saturday. Rock it out. Head up to the car party if you're local, and we'll see you next week. Bye, you guys.
Bye.